Express to learn about Midtown Corridor Route 47, the places you can go on RTD faster.
The places you can go on RTD.
This is Miriam, and you're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
You know what I got? I got a picture of his face with the little pillow on, the sleep face, and we're in Chicago.
Are they already in Chicago? The one and only Leo Biaz. Hey, Leo.
I'm excited to be back, my man. It was 9 days in Vegas. We got stuck in the desert, and we had a little hangover remix out there, man.
I wore a wig to school once, and they said no headgear was allowed.
How did the
spider web
was it
tights.
Obvious that it was a wig?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was having fun.
Wig.
See, this is exactly why we have them on the show, and this is what makes them fun.
You're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton, 92.1 FM.
Do you want to relive the golden days of Stockton? Join Nate Knott on Stockton Alive every first and third Monday at 6 p.m. Tune into thevoiceofstockton.org.
This is Darius Oliver, and you're listening to 92.1 KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS, the voice of Stockton, or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
Da 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 da, shabba da do da da da, shabba da dee da da da, shabba da dee da do da da da, shabba da dee da da da, shabba da be da do da da da, shabba da beat da da da, yeah, shabba da dee da, to buy is good. The
voice of Stockton and the voice of San Joaquin present Women in Business with your host, Chef Tobias Cooks.
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining us, Women in Business with the Voice of Stockton. Yes, you can visit us live on the Voice of Stockton on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, and Facebook. Yes, we are here this morning. Thank you. Happy holidays. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday. We are in Hanukkah season. Yes, yes, yes. I had a wonderful second night, Hanukkah, Monday night. It was good. We had dinner for about 350 people, and it went wonderful. But today we are here in Women in Business, and we are speaking with a special guest of mine. We are talking women in business. We're talking about a very, very serious issue that a lot of women, also men, deal with around the holiday season. So please go ahead and take our time and join us for this much needed conversation. Okay, so for my 15th guest,
number 15. Yes.
Please introduce yourself once again for the 15th time.
Right. Hello, everybody. I'm Kimberly Wormsley, and many of you know me for a variety of things and a variety of occupations. But today, I'm here to talk about my new business. It's called Kimberly Wormsley's Therapeutic and Trauma Services, and we are providing trauma and treatment to the community. About 30 days ago, I just received my license to the Board of Behavioral Sciences.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes. So I am a nationally accredited therapist. And so I'm really, really excited to give back to the community and start with providing some therapeutic services and intervention to women, children, and families, and those in need.
All right, that is great. So we're talking women in business today. Mental health is very important, especially for women. We are last on the list.
Absolutely.
Let me say it again. We put ourselves last on the list for every single thing. The reason why I'm so happy and excited for you coming on this show, thank you for coming.
No problem.
Is because the holiday season is the highest for depression, especially if we've lost our parents. A lot of us are now getting older. I know I am. My grandparents have gone on.
Right.
There are a lot of family members that I grew up with no longer are here. So my holidays have changed for me. My mother is out of the state. You know, so there's a lot of things that are different now. And especially with us women, we grow up, we have our own families.
Right.
We have extended families, but we do not take care of ourselves. So today I did want to talk about depression with women, also with women in business. We juggle, we multitask so many different things, and often we forget our mental health. Okay, so let's get started. If we could just talk about some of the quick signs that us as women in business that we could look out for, and how can we get a hold of it very early?
This is such a complex topic, so I'm going to try to summarize it as quickly as possible.
And that's why they can call you.
Right. Or go to my website, www.kwtts.com. I'm also about to start a blog about some of these issues. But with depression, as you stated, with the holidays coming along and the struggles with grief and loss, it can become a little more difficult. And as women in business, I think that sometimes we multitask, right? Because we're the mom, we're the business owner, we're serving the product, we have the kids, we have the family, we have the husband and home. So that multitasking sometimes prevents us from self-care. And some of the signs of depression, whether they're clinical or emotional, could range from sleep insomnia, feeling fatigue, feeling overwhelmed, emotional, and sometimes bouts of anger or resentment.
Yes.
You might find yourself and externalize a lot of those feelings that you bottle in.
Yes.
And as women, we're nurturers, and we are always on the bottom of the totem pole in terms of self-care. And so sometimes it's hard to recognize when you are going through a depressive bout or you're experiencing signs of depression.
Yes.
And so with that being said, it's very critical that we compartmentalize our day-to-day functioning and our responsibilities so that we do have time to care for self and check self. Understanding the symptoms that are involved with depression. There's another diagnosis called seasonal affective disorder.
Oh, wow. Never heard of that before.
Right. And it's very similar to depression.
Okay.
But you see it more often during holidays and or when the weather changes.
Yes.
So in the month of December, November-ish, these symptoms kind of expand or escalate because of the season and the shift to, now we don't have the sun out.
Yes.
Now that we don't see all these bright days, it's gloomy. And sometimes we can also face seasonal affective disorder, which is very similar to depression. And then we need to also be able to understand what the clinical elements of depression is and what the emotional element of depression. And I'll quickly tell you what that means, Chef.
Yes.
So with a clinical depressive disorder, you have a longer duration of those symptoms, right? So anywhere between 2 weeks or longer, you're probably looking more at a clinical depression symptom or diagnosis versus just being depressed. Because, you could just be depressed and you may be able to come out of that depression within a day or two if you have the proper self-care and coping skills and executive functioning, like the support system to come out of that feeling.
Yes.
But the problem is that so many women and families and children and youth may not have that circle of support. So that emotional depression eventually in time turns into more of a clinical depression, which is an actual diagnosis.
Okay. That makes sense.
Right.
So we don't have to automatically think we're crazy.
No, because at the end of the day, it's a normal feeling.
Yes.
However, when that feeling continues on for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and months and months and months, and you're not addressing that, then that becomes a more clinical diagnosis, which would require, coming in to see me as a therapist or engaging in some type of self-care in order to help regulate that physical dysregulation.
Yes, because then we normalized it.
Right. We normalized it. And, sometimes we kind of feel like, oh, this is normal. This shall pass.
Exactly.
But if you're feeling sad for days and days and days and days out of the week, how do you, within yourself, distinguish the fact that now this is escalated and now I need to seek support or services in order to come out of that rut?
Yes. And as women, that was awesome what you just said. But as women, we often fall into the addictive behavior, the shopaholic behavior, the overeating behavior, the sleeping too much behavior. Then we go into the exercise at the gym behavior, because now we're thinking that we could fix it ourselves.
We can regulate it. And I want to just say that there's a balance to that, because sometimes those exercises are both a physical, emotional, and mental prevention, so that's good. However, sometimes as women, especially women in business, because it's so, I have multi-businesses, and I can tell you that being a business owner is not for everybody. Okay.
No, it is not.
It's just not.
No,
Let's just be perfectly honest. Because there's a lot to go into owning a business and being successful in a business. So exercising and writing and journaling and listening to music, that's all great. But what's going on with the feelings that we have bottled up inside that we don't talk about?
Yes.
That we don't prioritize in our life to sit down, and even if it's not with a person like me who's a therapist, maybe it's just your girlfriend.
Yes.
Just talking for 15-20 minutes, saying, hey girl, this is going on in my life. I'm feeling this way. My kids are overwhelming me right now, and just purging those emotions and those feelings.
Yes, and I want to take this to another step. That's why every day, even if I'm like dogged out tired, because I have multiple businesses that I do as well, but every single day, whether if I come home late or if I'm early in the morning, I pick up my daughter from school, I always try to help my daughter degress her day.
Absolutely.
I ask her, how was your day? What have, even though Zylene, I could care less, but as Zalon, my 25-year-old, I have a 15-year-old daughter and a 25-year-old daughter, and I swear they're twins, okay?
Right.
But I think also with this as well is teaching them how to digress.
Oh, my
How
goodness.
was your day? What happened? What's going on? And then that will lead into her telling me what happened. Then by the time we get home or we're in a situation she's not lashing out at her brothers. And,
she's just externalized her whole day.
Yes.
And you're taking away some of those stressful feelings. And let's just say this. I'm going to give you a little story. With my grandparents, they came from the era where it wasn't okay for a woman to complain or talk about it or say anything. They were, they were that super grandma. They cooked, they cleaned. I mean, they're up 24/7. They didn't, these were norms that were established for their generation that sometimes came on to maybe our generation. But I'm going to tell you ladies this morning, speaking with your children at least 20 minutes a day, maybe on the way to dropping the kids off or after school, it's one of the most important foundations that you will ever have as a parent.
Wow.
Because you are modeling to your children that it's okay to talk about whatever the dynamics are at school. And as mothers, if we're not talking to our children about these issues, believe me that someone in school is talking to them about that. And I have well over 13 years with working with adolescents. And in depression in children and adolescents, I often found as a professional that many children were depressed, either clinical or symptomatic, because of how their parents modeled the ability to talk about feelings and emotions, and or not having that outlet or resource in order to externalize and talk about those feelings.
Yes.
So as mothers, we need to be careful how we model what's healthy or not in their lives, so that as they progress and as they have children, they don't set the same tone.
Yes.
They're talking with their children and decreasing the potential of clinical depression or symptoms of depression.
Yes.
Learning how to handle it in a healthy manner, because I don't want it to be misconstrued that it's a bad thing to be depressed. It's about how you deal with your depression.
Yes, that is very true. I know for myself, when I start to feel anxiety and I start to feel rushed, and I always check for my clarity of thinking. So if I feel like that I can't completely get a thought out, I'll just go ahead and write out a to-do list.
Oh, absolutely.
If I can't if I feel like I'm struggling with my to-do list for the day, then I know that there's something going on. Then I know that there's something that I hadn't really fully been able to process.
And I think that as women and mothers and business owners, that we need to begin to set limits.
Yes.
And be okay with saying no.
Oh, no.
No.
No. Spell it. N-O.
And no is universal in all languages.
No means no. What did I say? I said no. Yes.
But
we have a hard time with that. Why is that?
You know, I think it's about just learning how to set limits with ourselves and with other people and with family members. And I know, you talked about Zylene, and I know Zylene well. I know you know my daughter Lanai well. And when I tell Lanai no, she just has a meltdown. Oh, you're so mean. And what did I do? And I don't like, no. And I'm like, you can tantrum all you want to. No means no. I'm tired. I'm going to take some time for me. And tomorrow I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And if you don't like it, well, I don't know what to say. But again, at the end of the day, it's about setting those limits and saying no and feeling good about saying no.
Yes.
Feel good about saying no and setting limits and prioritizing you. I always try to treat myself to something nice, a coffee, or just have some time to check in with myself. Self-talk. And just setting those limits. Like I have my calendar for the month already established, and I had a meeting. I really felt bad that I wasn't able to go. I really, really felt bad. But then I said, you know what? I'm only one person, and I'm not going to be able to solve the life problems and solve world issues. And so be okay with saying no.
All right. Give me your information one more time.
So you can find me at www.kwtts.com. And please take off your phone and look me up at Kimberly Wormsley's Therapeutic and Trauma Services, and like me on Facebook.
All right. And then your blog is coming out soon.
The blog is coming out soon. I think that this is a topic that we all need to talk about in all walks of life, because mental health is very indiscriminate, and everybody has the potential of having either mental health symptoms, a mental health diagnosis, or warning signs that you're close to, a place in your life where you may need professional help. We'll just say
All
that.
right. Yes. So thank you for coming on talking about that. Depression in women, especially women in business, especially around the holidays, is something that's very rare. So if you can see yourself in this conversation, I've given you the information for it. Please reach out. Reach out to your friend. Reach out to your mom. Reach out to whomever. Please take care of yourself first. One more thing, trauma. I have to bring you back on to talk about that.
Oh, yes.
But just real quick, like in a nutshell, is trauma something that we can recover from?
Absolutely. I'm very firm and optimistic in the fact that every and all mental health treatment can be stabilized, healed, and treated. It's up to you as an individual to step forth and recognize that there is an issue in order to seek professional services and help in order to stabilize your life and feel good about you.
Yes, Don, do you have any diagnosis questions that you need real quick?
No, you did mention a phone number. They find that on the website or on the Facebook.
Yeah, and you can call me on my professional line at 209-905-8809. And please, I do blog about mental health and self-care and various diagnoses that people commonly struggle from. And if there is a topic that you do want me to blog about or talk about, please inbox me. I'll be happy to do that. I think that mental health is such a complex and huge topic. I can talk forever. So
yes, but
let
if
me
we
know.
could just start with being honest with ourselves.
Oh,
that's the first
the number
step.
one step. Because when you walk in that door to see me, it's not about what I think or what I recommend. It's what you feel, and what you recommend may be helpful, and we work together. I can't treat you if you're not able and willing to accept help and accept that there's a problem.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful holiday. Chef Tobias Cooks here with the Voice of Stockton. Please log on to the Voice of Stockton at YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter. Click, share, and donate. Thank you, Chef Tobias Cooks with Women in Business. Enjoy your week.
Thank you.
Yeah,